The incident? 1 year ago. A year ago, I experienced an event that still haunts me to this day. My final exams were approaching, and I had a lot of studying left to do. Usually our school library closed at 5 p.m., but because exams were near, the school extended the library hours until 11 p.m. to allow students to study in peace. Since my house was not far from the school, I preferred the quiet atmosphere of the library over studying at home. One evening, I reached the library at 6 p.m. to prepare for my exams. The library was the perfect place for intense study sessions. Quiet, with an abundance of resources and an ambience conducive to concentration. I settled into my favorite corner, surrounded by books and notes, and lost myself in the subject matter. The ticking clock seemed to accelerate as I delved deeper into my studies, unaware of the passing hours. Engrossed in my work, I lost track of time, and before I knew it, it was already 10 p.m. I had never stayed in the library this late before. The latest I usually left was 8 p.m., when there would still be a few students around. But at 10 p.m., the library was completely deserted. The once bustling space had transformed into a silent, almost eerie expanse. With only about 10 to 15 minutes of work left, I decided to finish up quickly and head home. Deep in my work, I suddenly heard strange footsteps outside the library. The sound was subtle at first, like a whisper of movement in the hallway. I brushed it off as my imagination playing tricks on me, but the footsteps grew louder and more distinct. My heart began to race. I hastily packed up my books, my mind struggling to rationalize the unsettling noise. Stepping out of the library, I was greeted by the dimly lit corridor stretching before me. Our school library is adjacent to a long corridor, which leads to the main door if you turn right. The corridor, usually a mundane path during the day, now felt like a tunnel of uncertainty. Walking through the corridor towards the main door, I noticed a woman standing at the far end. She seemed out of place, her figure shrouded in the dim lighting. The closer I got to her, the more uncomfortable I felt. There was something off about her, an inexplicable aura that made my skin crawl. In my nervousness, I called out, "Who's there?" My voice echoed in the empty corridor. She vanished within seconds, disappearing into thin air. I stood there, stunned and disoriented, trying to make sense of what I had just witnessed. Relieved yet unnerved, I hurried out of the school. Exhausted and hungry, I noticed the street was unusually empty, which was strange because it was usually busy even late at night. The familiar hustle and bustle of the neighborhood were replaced by an unsettling silence. Filled with dread, I kept my eyes on the ground as I hurried home. My footsteps echoed on the pavement, a stark contrast to the usual background noise. Suddenly, I saw a shadow moving on the ground. Despite no one being around, I saw a woman ahead of me. She looked odd, as if she was in pain and limping slowly. Her gait was unnatural, each step laborious and strained. As I got closer, I could see her clearly. She wore tattered clothes, and her arms and legs seemed twisted. Her hair was a mess, tangled and unkempt. The sight was so unsettling that I froze in my tracks. "Where's my daughter?" she asked. Her voice was a haunting whisper that sent chills down my spine. I felt paralyzed with fear. I couldn't speak or move. Not knowing how to respond, I pointed in a random direction, hoping she would leave. She limped away towards the direction I had indicated and disappeared into the darkness. Terrified she might come back, I started running home as fast as I could. My mind was fixated on finding someone or a car on the road to help me. At that moment, I heard her distant scream. After that, everything went black. When I regained consciousness, I found out that my neighbors had found me unconscious on the road and brought me home. They told me that in 1988, a woman named Agatha, 32 years old, lived with her 9-year-old daughter in an apartment building nearby. Agatha loved her daughter dearly, who attended the same school, Eden Hills. One day, while playing at school, her daughter died in a tragic accident. Agatha couldn't bear the loss and passed away soon after. The grief and despair consumed her, and her spirit remained restless. Since then, people have often reported seeing her restless spirit searching for her daughter around the school area. Agatha's story became a local legend, a tragic tale of a mother's undying love and her eternal quest to reunite with her lost child. Her apparition was said to haunt the corridors of the school and the streets surrounding it, a spectral presence that unsettled anyone who encountered her. My encounter with Agatha's ghost left me shaken, a reminder of the sorrow that can linger beyond death. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and like the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with another story soon. Until then, bye.